So for anyone who is not in Mastermind, which I hope some of you guys are not, and we'd love to have you join us. But for anybody who is not in Mastermind, my name is Trish Glenn. I am the Director of Events and Education for List Perfectly, and Kat is one of my really good friends in real life outside of. Want me to move over? Yeah. How's that? Better?
Yes.
Kat is one of my really good friends in real life outside of reselling, actually. And we were on the phone a few weeks ago, and she had to cancel a sale, and it was a little expensive. I forget what it was.
It was like $250.
$250 sale, and she was not happy about it. And I've been to her house before, and I said, can I give you some honest feedback? And she said yes, even though I don't think she really wanted it at the time.
I needed it.
You needed it, though. It's true. And she said, what? And I said, well, your inventory is a little disjointed. You always seem to start, like, you'll have a pretty good inventory system for one thing, but then it kind of gets out of control, I think, when you buy something different. Is that, what do you think?
Well, I mean, it's been years, though, so it's hard after 9,000 items. Hello.
Way more than 9,000, because that's just what you have live. So, I mean, how many you've sold and...
Yeah, it's hard after thousands and thousands of items, especially when you sell a lot of different stuff to know how... no, sale canceled because we could not find it. It had not already sold.
Yeah, no, it hadn't sold. So it isn't like it didn't come down. It was never...
We still haven't found it.
We haven't found it. We will. I'm convinced we will find it. We have found other things that have been canceled in the last. So it's not because it double sold, not because it didn't come down, but because they literally couldn't put their hands on it.
Yeah.
So let's just talk about this for a second. You have a pretty big piece of property.
Yeah.
And you have multiple buildings.
Yeah.
So, you know, there's the house, and there's where we are right now, what you call the shed. And then there's a barn, and there's a few outbuildings, and there's a thing you call the trailer, which is really just another house.
Yeah.
And so there are lots of places where things could be, and that complicates it also once you start.
Yeah, so you've got different sections inside of different sections.
And then there's a thing you call the canning room.
It was an old canning kitchen because my house is an old farmhouse, so they used to can vegetables in there.
Okay, thanks for explaining that, because I was wondering, I saw it in the location today, canning, and I was like, what the hell is a canning room? I assumed it was meant literally canning.
They were canning vegetables.
Huh. Okay, then. So we decided to start with clothes.
Yeah.
Which
Trish did.
I decided. Well, here's the thing with clothes. You guys know this, right? You can hang them up, you can put them in a bag, you can get them away, and you can move on to the next thing. And I think clothes are an easy thing to fix really fast. And not that it isn't fast. We've been moving right along, but they were everywhere.
Yeah, they were in all four areas.
They were in all four areas. So she and her friend Elena. Every time I say it, I'm like, I'm going to say it wrong. Elena, right? Elena?
Yes.
Her and her friend Elena, who's a very sweet woman, they went around and picked the clothes from everywhere. And so we have them in the living room, and we've been going through and rebagging.
Yeah.
So tagging them, bagging them, tagging them, fixing prices.
Individually skewing,
updating if it needs updating. Because there were some that were old.
Yeah, a lot of, like, if you watch me for a long time, you know, but years ago, I didn't do any descriptions. So some of them had no descriptions. So I've been using Express Lister to make descriptions for it now. Since we're already in the listing, I figure we might as well do that. We've pulled a few things that were low dollar that have been here for 3 or 4 years that I didn't think were worth it.
That's interesting. So I have not been deciding to end anything, right? I would just throw it to her and say, you make a decision. It's on my inventory, so I don't want to, but there were a few things I raised the prices on, I'm going to be honest.
Yeah.
If I thought why is this low? I would
And
raise it a little.
no, but I've had instances with collectibles that sat for 2 years, and one I raised by over $100 and it sold in like 2 weeks.
Right.
So I mean,
Right.
no, that definitely
happens.
sense, yeah.
And so we're gonna do all the inventory. Yes. So Jill asked, I also have multiple locations. I wonder if it would be helpful to have a location field as well as the SKU, which is exactly what we're doing, Jill. So I think it is. I have it in my own house. So at my house, I have a big old farmhouse too. Of course, it's a, pre-Civil War farmhouse. It's different than where we are. But so I have taken over my dining room.
No, I am 100% AI. So if you watch my podcast enough, I'm about doing the least amount of work to get the job done. That's what I'm about. Is that rain? I was just outside. It was sunny. It's raining. So I always just copy the title into the description because I'm a firm believer that like 90% of people really don't read the description anyways. And so I would just copy the title into the description. We tried the eBay AI for a while and it was just way too much blabbering.
It's a lot of blabbering.
And we tried it on one today.
We did it today. It was a lot of blabbering.
And so when LP came out with Express Lister, that with the bullet points, it's, more kind of on spot, that if I did do my own description, that it's more like what I would do. And so I started using Express Lister, and now I have descriptions because of Express Lister. If I wasn't using it, I would not have.
Even now you wouldn't.
No, I only put like if there's a flaw. So I would copy the title, and then if there was a flaw, then I would.
And what about the condition field? I've noticed that you don't really.
I put good on everything, I think.
Yeah, but you don't fill out anything in the description.
No, we put it if there's a flaw.
In the flaw, okay.
No, if there's a flaw, I put it in the condition.
You can, Jill. There is a location field. If you use the SKU builder, there's a location field.
Yeah, you can search by SKU. So Trish had us pull everything. And then now, like, if clothing sold, we might be in a little bit of trouble.
We're almost all done, so
we've made a lot of progress, but so Elena and I went through 2 of the locations and literally opened, because I did a lot of bankers boxes. So we opened the banker boxes, we looked in every tote, and we literally just pulled every single clothing piece that we found. And we actually pulled the shoes because 95% of our shoes are on a shoe rack, and there were like 5 pairs we found that were not on the shoe rack. So we just went and pulled it all. We put it in IKEA bags. We thought a few totes would be enough. It was not. We had like 6 or 8 IKEA bags.
Yep.
And before though, why I brought that up, when Ellen and I were doing it, what we were doing is I was searching the SKU field. So I would put the SKU, and we were looking at everything in the SKU. And then we were hanging it up, and then I was relabeling it to the new location. So yeah, so LP, that SKU field, you can search the SKU, which is beautiful. So for us, it would be like black tote 6. And then it would show us everything that's supposed to be in black tote 6.
So we're changing that. We're going to go location. So it's going to do location first, then the individual SKU, and then she's putting a date at the end, and you're doing that. Why? So
I put the date so I know when I listed it. I primarily started doing it because I was ending and selling similar, which I've stopped doing since. I don't know if I will start that again, but if I do, that way when I go look at my offers, I know how long something's been listed, because I have different percents I send offers off on according to how long it's been listed. And when I get an offer, I want to be able to look and say, okay, I got that in 23 or 24. Yeah, they're lowballing me, but do I want that gone? It's been sitting here 3 years.
Right.
So we add that in. We also are trying, when we're able, to add our cost into this SKU as well. The only thing, and I was telling Trish, is Etsy doesn't allow $ signs in their SKU. So on Etsy, I have to erase my dollar sign out of the SKU. But especially with the higher dollar items, I really want to know exactly how much I have into it. And I'm pretty decent at remembering. And if it's soon after, I can go on high bid, look at my invoice. But if it's 2 years later, I'm not going to be able to access that invoice. So we are trying to get the cost in if we can.
Right. And so for me, the cost, why do you, if you know you do like item location, individual SKU, date, couldn't you just put a number after that and not have the?
We could, but not everything goes to Etsy.
No, I'm just saying, why
I'm just
not?
OCD because I want to know it's dollars.
Okay.
Oh, go up a little bit.
Okay.
Somebody asked,
this.
Oh no, the favorite theme.
Oh yeah.
Here, I'll tell you a funny story. And Trish was on the phone. I think Clara too. When I first started trying it, so I tried the funny one because I'm a smart aleck. Anybody that knows me knows that. And we were using the like funny one. Prissy, how long do we use the funny one? Like 3 months, maybe. So I used it probably 3 months, and I'm like, this is not professional. And so we stopped with the funny one, and now I do professional. That is the theme that I use in AI.
I use professional too. I have done very funny and laughed hysterically.
I mean, it's amusing.
Some of them are so funny, and the slightly funny can be really good.
That's what I had, but I think it just like with $300 necklaces, you don't want a funny description.
Yeah. So do you hang your clothing after listing or fold and bag? So we're going to do both. We're going to do fold and bag. And anything that's a dress, a coat, a long bathrobe, jacket, a long nightgown, that's going to be hung. And that's going to be in sequential order. So they'll be very easy to just
I found really cool. And I'll probably maybe make a video with the supplies we're using where you guys can have access to that. I found like plastic hanging tags that
say hi to Clara.
Hi, Clara. I found plastic hanging tags. They're actually for like coat valets. So they're just going to go over the hanger. They're hard plastic tags. And then what we'll do when it sells is take the tag off, and then she'll reuse that number.
And it can go back into inventory. Yeah. Or if you're using sequential, sequential as in like continuous, you can just do it at the end and push them down. That's what's great about a hanging system, right? And you do have a lot of room, but there are a lot of small
But there's a lot of area, I think, and we haven't really looked at the collectibles yet because we started with the clothing. But like and I'll show you, I have shelves that are like 14 inches high that have all this 6-inch stuff on it. And to me, I'm like, okay, that's 8 inches of, vertical room that's not being used. I bought one like shelf that sits, so it makes it 2 shelves instead of 1. But I want to look at that and maybe find like smaller shelves to go in, or because I think I could have a lot more room than like I have a lot of space, but I think it could be better organized.
I agree with you completely. Room. So here's the thing, right? So there's, like I said, there's a lot of these outbuildings, but a lot of, what she calls the trailer, it has a master bedroom, a second bedroom. Actually, is it 3 bedrooms?
3 bedrooms.
3 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms. It's big, but when you walk in, it's like stuff. And I agree with you. So one of the good things that I was able to do at my own house, and this is basically the same system that she's going to be doing, is, I utilized every single wall space with shelving, and then my husband's name is Thayer built shelves like down the middle, and they were just big enough to pull the other things out. So you could get a full bucket out, you know what I mean? So you didn't have to take it to the end of the row, but he maximized the space. And one of the things that I would suggest that anybody do is really take a good look at your space. Just do the walls and see how on paper what you think you could do, and then get it in practice. Because like one shelf thing came out and we had 16 inches left. So he went and found banker boxes that could go all the way up to fill that 16 inches. Yeah. And then in there, we just put small items. Like you can really utilize all of the space you have and get a lot of items. And
we put a corner shelf, like in one, I have the wardrobes along, but then there was the corner that was unused. So I bought a corner shelf, and we've got collectibles.
Exactly. So let's just see what anyone else had to say in the chat.
How many listings do I have? Close to,
I started doing that. I did it in the closed room, so I'll have one room at least, and we'll do more. Yeah, I'm gonna do that.
Yeah, I was telling her like what we're doing now is gonna be kind of non-wow factor because the clothes were everywhere. So it's not like you're not going to be able to notice a difference.
I think she's wrong. I think you're going to notice a big difference.
Because most of them were in boxes. So you still see the boxes. Like you're not going to see that now they're empty. But that will be more organized.
But
in
the other rooms will be.
Yeah.
There will be
as
wow.
we go.
Yeah.
I don't think the two, because we pulled it from everywhere. We didn't clear any one
And
section
another
to
thing
organize
she did,
it.
and I don't know if you do this or Prissy does this, or I don't know who does this, but they would take like the pants or the shirts and wrap a breakable in it.
I think it was anybody, like if they were putting a breakable into a box, like, so a lot of times it would be like whatever got listed that day got put in the box, whether it was clothes or breakable.
Right.
So to protect the breakable in the box, it was wrapped.
And you know, and I know a lot of people do use that system where they will put whatever in a box and
by the date,
and it's full, and then you just move on to the next one. It is, I think, harder to pull, right? It's much harder to pull. And you already know this because you can't find things. So, you know.
Well, and I think, and like a lot of what we talked about, like with selling everything is, and this is going to have to adapt and, you know, kind of grow as it goes, is I buy not a lot of big lots, but when I come across like good deals, like we bought 1,200 license plates that came with the stand and with the boxes, which now that is empty. And actually I can buy banker boxes for that. And so now we have that section that now doesn't have license plates, but we're putting all the clothes into one room. I think they're going to almost all fit.
I think they'll all fit.
And use the other closet though, because that makes sense to hang clothes. And the thing is though, if I went and bought somebody's whole 2 closets, there might not be room in there. So then the clothes might have to go to one additional space, and we'll just have to kind of adapt as we go. Oh, how many listings? I have 80, I think 8,300. Let me look. So my goal, if you don't watch me, my goal by the end of the year is to get my listings down to 5,000, because I want more quality versus quantity. So I've ended probably about 300 in the last 2 months. I have 8,366, and I think I was getting close to 9,000. And my big thing, well, I don't want to have to increase my source subscription, so I don't want to have to go over 10,000. And B, I don't. And I think when I first started YouTube, a lot of people like the like bragging thing was how many listings you have, right?
Yeah.
And I think that was a lot of it, you know, I have 1,000, I have 2,000.
Hell, if you
I don't care how many listings I have. I want to have quality and like have maybe a dollar goal versus I need 10,000 listings.
But here's the thing, to me, if I have 1,000 listings and they're turning over every 30 days.
Oh, I knew people making more
like,
than me with 200 listings.
Exactly. I mean, it's what you're selling and it's the sell-through rate of those items, not to bring it back to sell-through rate that we've been talking about for 2 weeks, but I'm going to for a second because, and it also depends on your category, right? Used clothing, very hard to have a high sell-through rate. It just is.
Unless you're finding like popular designer brands, which are hard to find.
Very hard. And so it's hard to be a used clothing seller with a high sell-through rate. So you need the volume, right? So sometimes it does matter how much you have on those to be able to make the living. But for you and what you sell.
And I mean, I do long tail too. So I mean, that still is kind of a factor in order to make the money. But I've been paying more attention to the sell-through rate, and I'm not getting long tail items that are under $50.
Okay, so that's a great idea. So, and what's long tail to you?
For me, over a year.
So anything over a year has to be worth $50 or more.
Yeah.
Yeah, to make it worth holding.
If I think it's gonna take, because it's taking up space.
Right, because it's taking up space. It's iced tea. Tommy, but good guess. If I was home, it would have been coffee, but she doesn't have any coffee here. So I do not know what Katie Chick is talking about. 119 is the number of listings. That really helps because I see how many that month I listed to track numbers. I put cost of goods in that field and can easily look there. So Katie, are you
Oh, scroll up. Maybe she talked about the 119.
Okay. Oh yeah, there she did. I do mine 0226-19. I have
119.
I have a retail store also. I put location in the seller notes. If it isn't in the box, it's the most helpful for all platforms and online. So here's the other thing I do, and I'm going to try to get Kat and Prissy to do this. And I'm wondering, Valerie, I know you and I kind of have similar things. I'm wondering if you do this. Do you take a picture of the SKU? Like if you literally put something in your bag or a sticker or anything, do you put it in your pictures? Now with List Perfectly, you can hide it. So you don't have to have it, cross-posted.
Yeah, people
cross-listed to your, to everywhere. Now that we have those private photos. But I was just wondering if anybody does that. I do that. And for me, yes, I do. And Way. Yep.
Yeah, so I am very, very good at guessing the weight, but like Prissy knows, like if there's something that you just look at and like I would think it's a pound and it's heavy, Prissy takes a picture of it on the scale. Like we just did a brass ball. I just got a question about it, and it's like 2.5 pounds. But if I would have looked at it, I might have thought it was heavier, honestly, if I thought it was solid brass. So she knows if it's big. Like we just sold a side table that she sits on the scale and puts a picture of the scale for me.
Yes.
But yeah, I know. I see the SKU in the title all the time. But I don't think buyers really care.
I don't think so
I think
either.
us other resellers are like, why are they doing that?
So I did it for years before there was a SKU field. For those of you who've been doing this long enough, there was no SKU field on eBay, but I owned a consignment store. So they weren't my items. So I had to be able to track, this was Kat's item, and when it sold, I had to pay her. So for me, that was something that I utilized in my store. So when I put it online, I still utilized it. So I took a picture and I put it in my SKU. And that way, when it sold, I could see the listing and do it. Now, once we got the SKU field, I did start using the SKU field. But I still put the picture. The last picture in my photographs is the item with the SKU number on it. And I get maybe 2 comments a year that says, what does that last picture mean? And I always just say it's an internal, inventory system. Now, because of LP, I've started to do, but it's such a process that I don't always remember.
Yeah.
But, now you can hide it in LP. Yeah. Are you talking about the private photos, Karen? If you are, they're really great for a few things. You could
do it with the weight. I took the weight off.
You took the weight off. You could do it with your SKU. You could put a receipt in there. Like if it was a receipt for how much you bought it for and you wanted somewhere to keep it, you could put it in there and attach it to where it went to. You could also use it for
I did not consign with her.
No.
I don't consign or consignee. I will. Oh, I have a message I have to answer about that. I will do it if it's $500 or more. That's my threshold.
Tommy, I mean, this was a long time ago now, Tommy. I didn't realize how long ago it was now. I think I bought my store. I think I figured out the other day in 2014. So no, it was not from Kat.
That's not that long ago.
2014?
That's only 12 years.
Oh, feels like a million years ago.
They were that.
This one?
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's Crystal. Hi, Crystal. We're gonna do both, Crystal. So we bought a numbered thing of stickers. We're gonna do 3 kinds of systems. We're gonna use the LP. We're gonna do the Numera. I mean the ones that you condense. We're also gonna do some that are backfilled. So we're gonna kind of try a few different things and see what works best, but we're also going to do it to accommodate the item and what Kat feels the most comfortable doing. So I don't want want to be so bold as to be like, you're doing this way. So we're kind of figuring it out.
Yeah, I mean, like, I'm kind of like with the numerical, I want to reuse the numbers. That's just me being OCD. Prissy has been sending the envelopes. I don't want to send the envelopes. I want to reuse them. You can, I bought a little, you could grab it.
Yeah, I'm grabbing one.
I bought a little label printer, but we're going to stop that because honestly, it takes too much time. So I bought little numbered stickers. But you can see like we have large jewelry and then we have small jewelry. And I want to reuse the numbers. So versus condensing, and then I mean, like the numbers could end up at like 10,000.
So she bought these. They're in a stand. The stand is a little. Oh, okay. The stand, is a little.
And then there's another one back there. That's the little jewelry you see straight ahead in the little drawers. So,
but this to me, this is really great because those stand up. And so they're in.
And I bought the right size. It's important, I'll say, to use the right size because I had those and I had little bags in it. And the dang things fell over and then they got all out of order. So don't get a 4-inch drawer and 2-inch bags because they'll just slip and slide and they'll be a hot mess. That was not. When I got my 600 Harley pins, that's what we did. Because those were all numbered. Like those were HD and whatever number they were.
I do with my jewelry now. It's my daughter's idea to take a picture of the jewelry item.
Yeah, that's what we've been doing.
Super helpful. And you know what else it's helpful for? It's helpful when you make a mistake. So you didn't change the SKU, you misinterpreted the SKU, and then you can go and look at that picture and be like, oh, you moron, it's MN, not NM. You know what I mean? Like it's that kind of stuff. And so if you can figure out a way to build in safeguards for yourself, guardrails for yourself, Crystal, who asked the question earlier, and we are gonna put the SKUs on the QR code stickers. We are gonna do that. So LP has a QR code system that each item can have its own separate QR code, and it will bring you exactly to where it needs to go. So you can make sure everything's ended. You can end anything. You can change anything. We are going to use that also. And so for me, like that's a pivotal thing for Crystal and her business. So you just need to figure out what works best for you and what's going to save you time and make you the most efficient and not have to cancel a sale. Especially now, canceling a sale is becoming more and more problematic. For a long time, it was no big deal on Poshmark, but now they have the 3% rule and you have to be careful. It's always been a big deal on eBay. And I think it will continue to be a bigger and bigger deal when these platforms are trying to get people to buy from them and they're worried about customer experience and they don't want you to, mark something as unsold. I mean, cancel.
And I think it was 2 years ago, I actually took myself off of Posh because I felt bad because I was canceling. I know I saw that. I'm probably going to drink some moonshine tonight. I was canceling over 50% of my Poshmark orders. This is before auto delist even it wasn't in effect at that point. So it might've been even longer than that. And I felt bad because I was canceling all these people's orders. And I've had the conversation with a couple of people that feel that the platform should be more lenient with sellers. And I don't agree with that. It is our responsibility. We're like, if I go buy something, I expect to get that. So as a buyer, I know I don't want that canceled. So for me, like I will try my hardest. I will drop ship stuff to people. You cannot do that on Poshmark, unfortunately, but I can on eBay. Even if that means I pay $10 more for the item, I'm going to get them what they bought from me. And so I think that's our responsibility. We've started using, we meaning me, I check the sales and I say we all the time and it's me.
You're like, I'm the only one doing it.
We, I check the sales and analytics tab, which I never really looked at before. And I will check that every day because that'll tell me if it stayed on Posh because there was an offer out.
Correct.
And
wait a second. That is a huge hack. If you, because this came up.
Watch, I'm going to share the screen.
Sure, please.
So if we go like to my LP and
Sorry, I was looking that up for Chrissy.
If I go to my sales and analytics for the last 30 days, we've had 300 orders, and I can come here and look, and there should only be one platform here, except like this one is a multi-quantity. So what I learned now though, from me and Trish doing inventory, is I can go in here and I can hit edit, and I can come down, and I know one sold somewhere. So, which I already did this. I already fixed this one. So now it was 2, now there's 1. And then I can tell it to, if I hit cancel, I can tell it to cross list and update. I can click update, and it'll update the quantity on any platform that has multi-quantity, like Etsy and Mercari, I don't think do, but the rest of them do. So once I edit it, then I know. So I just scroll down here and I'm looking, and you're not going to see more than one on here, except for these multi-quantities that I've already fixed. And now I know every day.
There's one. Whoa.
No, but watch, I bet it's gone. Like, look, it's gone. I fixed it. I just didn't edit.
Okay. So you could edit that so that it wouldn't be there. You could take that out if you wanted.
Like, all I got to do is click edit and go down to the inventory, and I click off Posh because I manually took it off Posh. I changed the size so I could take it off, and now it's not gonna. Oh, I'm not showing you guys. You weren't seeing it.
Oh my God, you weren't seeing any of that?
No. Well, no, they saw most of it, but I was on Posh.
Oh, okay.
So this one still said Poshmark, but it's gone, and I already took it down. So let me go back to this one. So I look through this several times a day just to see and make sure, like, again, that's a multi-quantity. If it's not multi-quantity, I should only see one platform here. Otherwise, I have an issue. And so that has, and I'll stop the sharing, that has become my go-to to make sure, because yes, you have auto delist, but ultimately the responsibility is yours, not the program's. So that's almost like the taking a picture of a SKU. You have a backup system to go and make sure that what's supposed to be happening is actually happening.
Exactly. And it's also that being able to do that, I think, and just go down quickly. And you sell a lot more per day than a lot of us do. So for most of us, it's going to be very fast, right? Like, yep, all set, keep going. And Crystal, who also is the high volume seller, she uses the QR code system. So she's doing it. She's checking it as she's pulling.
Yeah.
So there are multiple ways that you can use that. And it will be an immense benefit. And people who get frustrated with auto delist, I think it's just that you don't have the parameters set up, that you don't have the guardrails in place.
The only issue that we have really is the offers on Poshmark.
And that is not, and no
or if it goes off. Sometimes, like if we got logged out, my auto sales detection was turned off today. So, I mean, you have to pay attention that your sales are coming through. Like we were sitting there doing inventory. I clicked to look at the sales and analytics. That's just habit. And it said 0 sales. And I'm like, no, I've had sales on eBay today, went and checked it. It had turned off. I think because we cleared the cache.
It was. That's exactly why it happened. Because she and I were working on stuff and I cleared the cache and the cookies. And then, so that was my fault.
And it logged us out.
And it logged
but
us
I mean,
out.
I'm in the habit of checking. And like I've told Prissy too. So that's like 2 of us that are checking to make sure. And we look at the unsold on eBay because that's kind of our main, besides the LP catalog, eBay, everything is on eBay.
Okay.
It might not, it's not all on Etsy, the majority, and it's not all on the other ones. Cause like Poshmark, I wasn't putting heavier items. Mercari, since I found out they'll only refund you $200, I'm kind of iffy putting items over $200 on there. Well, I lost $400. I don't know if you know that.
No, I don't think I did.
Yeah, somebody scammed me. They used AI broken photos and said every item in a $700 order was broke. And Mercari let them keep it and gave me $200.
I did not know that.
So ever since that, I've been like, I really think before I put high dollar stuff. If you don't watch Jocelyn Crazy Lamp Lady, it was back in November, the first time. There's a moonshine place in Mount Dora where the antique fair was. And me and her went and we were doing shots at the moonshine. And she recorded and shared it to 450,000 followers. Me
You're like, here I am.
And I'm like, did you really? I didn't know she was sharing it. I'm like, so yeah.
Tommy, Amy wrote to Tommy, in case you get hit by that bus, those SKUs come in handy. So I am kind of known for saying what's going to happen when you get hit by a bus, because we're all going to get hit by a bus, whether it's illness, death. I didn't mean our own death, but that one too. I mean, a death in your family, illness, a vacation, something's going to happen, and you're going to have to rely on somebody else to do your shipping or to do whatever. And so the one thing that we can make sure is that our shipping, our inventory is in good enough order that someone can come in and find the things that need to be shipped. So if something happened to Kat, she has people, but if Kat didn't have people, I would stress to her that the one thing I would want to make sure is that she could call somebody and they could, even if it took them all day to find it.
Well, and I mean, for us, like Prissy got sick last year. She was out. Prissy knew where stuff was that I didn't know where it was.
That's not good.
And she was in the hospital, and it took me all day. And luckily she was well enough to respond to me and could help me find it. But that's where, like, if she's out, I should be able to find it. If
Correct.
I'm not here, she should be able to find it.
And I think a stranger should be able to come in
anybody.
and find it. You know, you should have a rubric or a key or whatever you want to call it, and
not have to contact
correct.
somebody.
And I also believe strongly that you can't rely on your own memory 100%. Right?
No, once I got to like 500 items,
right.
and I was like,
yeah, exactly. And then you're spending so much time looking for things that you should be listing or sourcing or doing other things. Pulling your shipping should not be, the bane of your existence.
Right.
So Kelly wants to know where you got the little bins.
I can give you a link for the ones on Amazon. The yellow ones I think I got from Harbor Freight. And I can send you a link to them too. If you I know you can message me on Instagram or Facebook, and I'll send you a link, because they're perfect for jewelry or smalls. Honestly, if somebody did like postcards, I think those yellow ones would even fit them.
So I think Jill has a really good point, which is why I started with clothes. I'm going to be completely honest. I thought if I could get all the clothes corralled
out of the way
and in together, then I could see how much room we had and we could start to figure out the next step. So we are going to be videoing this. We've already been taking videos. We're going to continue to do that. And I think we'll probably do another one of these once we're a little bit further down the line and give you guys some more ideas for other things. But we just haven't gotten there yet. And, but I totally agree, Jill, clothes are easy. And I also think as a clothing seller that we don't understand sometimes how easy we have it. We have more work, I think, sometimes on the front end because of the measurements and all of that kind of crap. But shipping is really easy. You throw it in a poly bag, and storing is really easy.
We hate the listing of clothes, but we love the shipping of them.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, the storage theoretically should be, but we just had clothes everywhere. They were in boxes. They were folded on shelves. Some are hung up. Some are in totes. Like, they were just a ton of things.
So Crystal is a really big, if you can't tell by this, she's a really big proponent of the QR code system. So that is definitely happening.
And if we see we like it on the other stuff, I mean, we might adapt as we're going and figure it out. I think going back into, 9,000 items.
Wouldn't the QR be hard goods tough?
Well, so what I did is I bought, because I was thinking about, like, how are we going to attach this? And some of this stuff is expensive stuff. So I think I bought the little hang paper tags like you see on antique store, merchandise. And I think we can, like, tape the string with Scotch tape to, like, the bottom of them and put the QR code. Is it little enough to fit on that little tab?
It has to be a little bit bigger than the ones you have, but I have some to show you. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And like, so we could tape the string to it, so we wouldn't have to tape the little.
And I also think that, I mean, I have friends who bag not everything, but they bag a lot. And so if it's small and you can put it in a bag, you can tape it to the bag.
Yeah, but like all that's breakable. It could.
No, I wouldn't put it on that. But I meant,
but I mean, we could put codes on those with the tags if we wanted.
So she has a lot of Native American. These are Native American, right? Yeah. Native American items that are right next to us. Oops. There you go. Nope.
It says, I don't like you.
It does not like it. There it is. Native American. But I mean, these, you could definitely put a stick, piece of Scotch tape
with the string where
with
the
the
tag
string,
was hanging
yeah.
off.
Because here's the thing. Somebody comes in, i.e. me, I don't know what the hell those things are, right? So even if it said like the shelf area, I would want it individually skewed to make sure I grabbed the right one.
Yeah.
Yeah. Tommy, Crystal uses it on her hard goods either.
And we're planning on using it on the hard goods. Right now, we're not planning on using it on the jewelry and the clothing.
Right. That's kind of the plan at the moment, but it could change.
Yeah. Yeah, with mine, like with those, I wouldn't want to take off like part of the signature or something like that. And yeah, the AI photos, Prissy double boxed. We had one of the items was a $500 item. It was, and if anybody's bought anything from me, we way overuse bubble wrap. American Bubble Boy loves us. And it was bubble wrapped and double boxed, and there was no way in HE double hockey sticks that it was broke. And the lady did not provide, she provided pictures of it broken. I said, I want to see the boxes. And she didn't, and Mercari still gave her $700 back. And Mercari's max refund, if you guys do not know, is $200.
I did not know that. So,
Yeah.
so Mercari,
if it breaks, Mercari insures it. Basically, they self-insure it.
okay,
Mercari is who gave me the money.
for $200.
Yeah, but they probably, well, I don't know if they put the additional insurance. They might not have. If they didn't, then they could file a claim for $100 or whatever. But if they put the insurance, they'd get $700 on that claim, and I'd get $200. So I am like, if I'm not going to be happy getting $200 for an item, I've been not putting it on Mercari.
I'm hoping to have all of the clothing done by Sunday, and then we will figure out
Months.
Then we will
It's going to
figure
take
out.
a long time.
Then we're gonna figure out the next step. So this is my hope. My hope is to start to get the clothes and then move on to another category
yeah.
and do that, and then
Yeah, and that's what we did with the boxes. So we started doing stuff before Trish came, and we were going tote by tote, and then I noticed I have a bunch of empty designer boxes. And I was like, I don't think most of these are listed because they sold fast. And I'm like, there are so many sitting here. I don't think they're listed. So we went through all the Hermes boxes. We went through all the Chanel. We still have to do Louis Vuitton and Christian Louboutin, but we're doing them individually by that category. And I think we'll see how far we get with this. But I think the next thing would be to use that SKU field on LP, put in the section, and then go section by section and figure it out.
So, and she and I, we're both on computers. We're both in her LP. And then 2 different times we've had people helping us bag. But if no one's there, she and I bag, and then we throw them in. Once we get to the end, we just move on to the next. It's going pretty fast.
Yeah.
And we watch Naked and Afraid. I don't know if anyone watches that. I've never seen it before, and it's pretty fun. So we watch Naked and Afraid and do this.
With Jill's comment, the problem with that is you get questions. Now you're going to have to go unwrap that whole thing. And some of these are so fragile, you would not.
Well, no.
If you put plastic wrap around that, it's going to break.
You couldn't do it on this, but she could.
Those arms come off.
But
really
you can
easy.
do it on a vase.
Yeah, like.
And how many questions do you get on certain things?
We get a few questions a day.
Do you? Jill, I would do the same thing you're doing, and I love the shrink wrap, Jill. I do. I love it.
As a buyer, I hate it.
I don't care.
As a seller, I think about what I want. I got it. Listen, I thought we wrapped crazy. I also don't tape the bubble wrap. When we pack, we don't tape the bubble wrap because I hate trying to get into tape bubble wrap. And you have to cut it. So you could theoretically damage the item. But so this lady did tissue paper, and then brown paper, and then saran wrap, and then little bubble, and then big. It took me 20 minutes to get into a vase. I'm like, so if I wouldn't want to get something like that, I'm not going to send it. And shrink wrap is the bane of my existence.
Karen, do you know that I do not know the answer to that question off the top of my head? But I think there should be, but I don't want to say absolutely yes. Karen, I think you use List Perfectly, Karen. If you do, go into the help docs inside I don't know about YouTube. I think it might be internal.
Oh, like one of the tutorials.
Yeah, I think it's in one of the tutorials, Karen. But if you do me a favor and email me, trish@listperfectly.com, I will find...
Oh, no. Create listings instantly with the barcode scanner. I bet that
No, that's the barcode scanner. That's to help to... She's talking about the QR codes for inventory.
Oh, no. So I guess... Oh, look, I come up when you search for listings.
Email me, Karen, and I'm going to find out for you.
Look, I see. I just got a question.
Crystal, agree. I totally agree with that. That's why I got...
That's what I was thinking.
Yeah. I think she bought these from you.
Look,
This is Julie.
Look, they asked the size. Don't you love that?
They asked the size, and there's the...
Three pictures with
a tape measure.
We do. We use a ton of it, but it's not taped, and it like you could take it off really easy. But I don't want them to break. I can't imagine.
When I move this summer, I'm going to need to reset up my store, and I'm enlisting Valerie to come out and do what you two are doing now. Pay attention, Val. Valerie, I'll be on standby. You can call me. I'll tell you what to do. Yeah. So Karen just said she uses LP. Just text or email me, trish@listperfectly.com. Because I don't want to give you the wrong advice, but I'm like 99% positive we do. Yeah, I know. Yeah. Oh, thank you, Kelly. I was trying to hit this, not that. Did you realize you put your email for the whole world to hear? Tommy, do you see
it's probably out there somewhere anyway.
Tommy, do you see how many times I give people my phone number? Anyone can find me. So tell me, what's your biggest pain point with inventory? Is it not being able to find things?
Yeah.
And how long on a normal day does it take you to find stuff?
I'd say that's more a question for her. Like on a Monday, probably at least 2 hours. But I mean, that's 40 to 50 items. And I mean, sometimes even longer. So, I mean, I don't know. Because, like, some of our clothes, and that was the issue. Our clothes are in totes, but they're in too big of totes.
Oh, yeah.
So there might be like 60
the really big
pieces.
ones, even more, I bet. The really big ones that, like, you put Christmas decorations in, or sometimes a Christmas tree, they're really big,
and there's too many pieces to be looking for one. So we're putting, the ones we're doing are smaller. We're putting 25 pieces in each.
And they're very heavy, the ones you have.
Yeah, and she has to lift them.
So
because they're stacked,
exactly.
Which we're taking that out of the way.
We're doing shelving with, so no more stacked. That's another thing I'd like to talk about for a second.
Because physically, like, that's just too much.
You have got to think about long-term, that you're going to be doing this. If you're trying to run a business, you're going to think about long-term. You don't want to throw your back out or your shoulder out. And, moving those really heavy totes every once in a while is no big deal. But when you're doing it every day, I don't know if Pam Arnold is here, but I worry about Pam being buried under her totes because she stacks them like 7 high and they're everywhere.
That's crazy because every time it's going to be on the bottom tote.
I know. And it makes me nervous. Her little self is going to be buried under totes one day. So yeah. So does anybody have any questions we can answer? What do you think so far? The process is pretty easy.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I like it. And I think like I said, it's going to take longer than we think because there's so many. But like I said, I think we'll get a system in place and be able to do it and implement it and do it going forward. So the stuff that's new is coming in. And then Elena's been coming over once a week and we've been doing like a tote or a section. And we're just going to have to do that till we get through.
Well, and I'll come back in April or May.
And see where
we're at and start, we can do whatever.
And the nice thing is we're looking at the listings. So like these listings that are older that don't have descriptions, we're putting descriptions, changing the price a little, but also like I had one and I looked and it didn't have the word shirt. And I mean, I've come across it and I'm like, oh, maybe that's why I hasn't sold it. It doesn't say it's a shirt, and it's probably in the specifics. So it probably would come up in a search, but I would like, if it's shirt, I would like to have it say shirt.
You think? Title. I found a couple that didn't have size in the title.
Yeah.
I mean,
I don't write the word size.
No, not size.
Oh, it
didn't have a size. Yeah.
Yeah, and I put the size, and I'll write size. Are we assigning categories certain sheds or rooms? Well, the clothing are going into one room. I don't know, and like we had talked about that because I like the idea of that, but I never know if I'm going to buy a big lot of something, and that's just gonna, we can't be moving inventory every time I make a big buy. That's just not realistic. So I don't know. It's definitely something to think about. One of my sheds like is horrible as far as moisture. So really I need to get like anything textile
Correct.
out of that area.
Yep.
So that's one thing. But I think like sections will have it, but there might be sections in multiple areas. Like I have tons of breakables.
But I mean, I agree with you. There should be no cloth items in the one that has the moisture issue.
which is that the first one, because
Yeah.
I didn't get spray foam insulation.
Yeah.
The ones with spray foam are decent.
Yeah.
I'm pointing because this one has
This
it.
one has spray foam.
But
Right.
this one doesn't. This one used to have inventory, and we kind of reorganized, and the inventory came out of here. So everything in here is unlisted and whatnot. Well, except for the display shelves. That's the only listed.
Yeah.
So the boxes that are in the living room of the trailer used to be a row. There was a center row.
Yeah.
And a row. But now we've kind of like where we're sitting, like this half is normally Prissy's workspace where we're at. We ship back there. The other half is an office with a desk that is my whatnot space. So I was doing the whatnots in Trisha's room. I was doing it inside, and I think most of you, if you've gotten your reselling business out of your house, it's nice to not have any of it in there. So the whatnot moved out here to the shed, and that mainly I had an employee doing it. So it was like during the day I'm in there trying to work, and like whatnot sales are going on. But I like it because we have a section for the whatnot inventory in here, and then there's unlisted eBay inventory. So theoretically, right now the shelves are all full. Theoretically, I should have empty shelves. So when these auctions are coming in, we're putting them in by the order. And the problem, and like I have a shelf right next to me. The problem that I have created is I've made this shelf, and I tell Prissy I want this stuff listed first because it's high dollar. As I keep getting so much high dollar, she's not touching the other stuff. That's the problem. And that stuff's been sitting there. So we're kind of working through that, but ultimately, like I should have an intake area where the auctions, and like I'm doing haul videos now. So if I tell Prissy, hey, whatever auction, if somebody wants to buy something off the video, we should be able to find it.
Yeah,
easily.
I mean, that's a good idea. And I didn't think of it till you just said it, because when I pulled up at your house a couple days ago,
Well, those are
is
there because I haven't had time to do videos. That's the problem.
there is a pile of packages on her porch,
Auction stuff.
auction stuff that she has not opened yet. Yeah, but if you had an intake area, you could leave them there.
No. I mean, because I'm doing my videos in the house. I could do the videos out here, but I sit and sort like I'm sitting and listing. So I sit on the couch and sort through the jewelry.
Okay.
So they, like right now, and they would still do that. They would come inside for me to look through, sort it before it comes out here. We could, I mean, theoretically we could. And if I clean the laundry room, we really could put a shelf in there and,
No, totally.
and have the
Oh
boxes
yeah,
in
that's
there.
that's a good idea.
Yeah.
Did you print an inventory list from LP by area or category to start pulling
We
items
just
for
randomly
inventory?
pulled.
No, here's the thing. I said to her,
And I never thought of that, honestly.
I didn't.
I didn't think of it till she told us, hey, like, so the clothes are all going to one area. So we didn't pull clothes from that area, but the other areas, she's like, you guys just go in there and pull and we did stop. Don't forget we stopped.
No, we stopped
We
after a
didn't.
little while. Yeah. And I said, just pull them. I figured that most of the clothes I went up.
I don't think she thought I had that many
I
clothes.
didn't, because there was a crap ton of clothes in this one room. And
But
she
there's
said,
a lot in the boxes.
and so she said to me, I have some in the other one. I was like, well, pull them all and we'll do them first. So when I got back, there was like 5 IKEA bags already full.
And we still hadn't stopped.
And I was like, all right, let's wait. I got to get through these before we don't know where anything is. But
We're almost
done now, so it doesn't matter. So we'll have to pull the rest probably tonight.
So we didn't look anything up. We just physically went in, opened every single box, and pulled all the clothing. And while we were in there, we pulled the shoes too, because I knew we had condensed most of the shoes to one area. So we went ahead and pulled the shoes if we saw shoes. so that the shoes could get put on the shoe rack, which is in the same room as the clothes. I don't do a ton of shoes. And I think like Ellen and I had talked to like scarves. I think that's the big thing. But with the scarves, we wouldn't want to look through every box. I would probably search scarf on LP and then go to each of those areas, pull the scarves to get all of the scarves into the same area.
Yeah. And the great thing about once you have your inventory, I mean, listen, if you
But
have,
then when Prissy lists the scarf, she knows where it goes.
correct. Right. And that's the other thing. Make yourself a key. Like, this is the item. This is where where it goes. So they always have the location. And you also, you know, you can.
If it is lost, it's in one area.
Correct.
Not
That's the other
5,000
thing.
square
Exactly.
feet.
You don't have to go and search 12 buildings to find something. It's going to be in this one area.
Yeah.
And I just got to search for it.
And like we're doing, the jewelry is going to take me a long time because I do a lot of jewelry. I've done one drawer. I pulled the drawer, bought it inside, numbered the bags. And I have another one. I showed you guys the one. I have one more. And I think in here, like if you guys see, and this is about utilizing the space. So those counters are really deep. So those bins being there is not taking up any space or
Right.
taking her workspace because she wasn't using it anyways. And where the other one is, same thing. So our goal is to get all of the jewelry here, which is going to be worse than the clothing. Because we're going to have to pull it individually, bag it like we're doing the clothing, and individually number it and get it into the trays.
But the jewelry may be the next thing we should do, only because of the value of it.
Yeah, and that's
You
the
have-
higher value.
There has been times where she has misplaced a high value item.
We just
And
had a $400 necklace last week.
a $400 necklace last week. Did you find it afterwards?
Yeah.
And the woman rebought it, right? So she canceled the sale. So she has a ding on
Etsy.
on Etsy. So she canceled the sale. So that's an issue. The customer had a bad experience. Now, she found it, contacted her, and the woman bought it again. So, but you know, there's a lot of stuff in the
But
middle
that's stressful too.
that's so
Like,
stressful.
like I don't want to lose $400.
Right. And so the jewelry for you may be a smart way to go next, only because there's so much of it.
Yeah.
But I do think that you just need to think about how to maximize your area, maximize what you have, and think about what you can do to maximize your space. Because being able to not only get as much stuff as possible in the space, but also that it's easy to find, it's fast to find, that you're not struggling every day. Because once you have a better system, you're like, holy crap, why did I do that for years? That's how I felt when I finally changed up my system. And I thought to myself, oh my God, I wasted so much time. Yeah. Okay. Tommy. If I didn't have a husband, Tommy, that's what I would be doing. Or if Thayer would retire, that's what he would be doing with me. But I hope thank you so much for everybody coming. We've only almost at an hour. I am going to go back in the house. I'll go into listing party after this. But I'll do it in the house while I'm still working, if anybody wants to ask any questions. So
I have a live sale if you want to come buy some jewelry in 30 minutes.
what? Oh, at
3:30.
30:30? I was going to say drop the link, but I don't have the link.
Oh, I have.
Drop the link in the chat. So Kat,
Oh, I don't know if I'm a moderator though.
in your own thing.
We're on your channel.
Oh, we're on my channel. Sorry.
Oh, I can text it to you.
Oh yeah, you can text it to me. So we are. So what are you doing? What's the sale?
Jewelry,
And what are the starts?
$3. Or I have it as $5. I'm gonna do 3. It says 5. I'm not gonna do 5. I had it. I was gonna do Avon, but last time I did Avon, there wasn't a bunch of interest, so I think I'm gonna just do everything. I thought there would be more interest in Avon than there was.
Really, that's interesting. I don't think if Avon is being very collectible. Am I very
No,
wrong?
but there's some high dollar piece. I don't have any high dollar pieces. Okay, I sent it to your phone. Do you want it?
No,
to
it will
face-
come here too.
Okay. So I think I'm gonna do everything, and I've gotten some really nice pieces. The ones we did, and I have a few left. That the Givenchy earrings came in. That was like high end costume. And then I have a lot of good, I've been buying a lot of higher end lots. So when I get the really high end lots, I pull a lot more to put on Whatnot for $3 starts that are worth 30, 40 bucks for $3.
So we talked about this earlier. So talk about this for a second. Your idea is to sell to other resellers, really, right? Is that?
I mean, I think that's the majority of what the audience is, and whether it's resellers or it's a collector that's getting a good deal, I want them to be getting it for less than what it's worth.
And but you do sell to resellers who can make. I mean, I've heard you say.
I had one, and like Prissy's, like I did $3 starts on fairies. I knew nothing about them.
On fairies?
Yes, fairies. And
like
they look like Dollar Tree fairies.
Okay.
And one of the people that got 3 of them, they were worth $60 each. She paid $3. I had one that got no bids at $3 that was worth $150, none listed, none sold, and sales in Worth Point, which means it'll probably sell within a week or 2. And I got no bids, and it was worth $150.
Okay, so what was the name of these things?
I think most of them were Fairy Glen.
And you didn't,
but they look like Dollar Tree statues. They look cheap.
And you don't know anything about them?
No.
Interesting.
But I'm glad nobody bid.
Yeah.
Because afterwards I looked it up and I'm like, crap. And I mean, she got 4 of them. So, I mean, I miss stuff. I don't look hard. I'm moving through the inventory fast. So, I mean, there's stuff that slips through. And I, like, on purpose, I put stuff up to $40, $45. So
that no one will bid on it?
No, I put it in there for $3. So
I apologize. I misunderstood what you were saying.
Because I'm trying to pull mainly $50 and higher. I'll pull some lower if they're a really fast sell-through rate. That's the only other thing.
And you'll pull some if they have a high sell-through rate if it's a lower price?
Like $35 and fast sell-through. I'd pull it. But there aren't many of them.
And you're buying this stuff. I know we talked about this earlier, but you're buying this stuff at auction.
Online auction.
And most of it is sent here.
Yes.
You do one pickup at a local-ish place, kind of.
Yeah.
And Tommy, I love Tommy, but sometimes he says things and I'm just like, what the hell, Tommy? And you source like this because where you live, there's only 2,200 people in this town. Is that what you said? It's a really small town out kind of in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah.
And so this is the most.
I could find stuff, but it's $15, $20 stuff. And that's not what I want.
Right. So this allows you to source high end and to make a higher profit.
Yeah, but to get the higher dollar for a low price, you have to buy lots.
Absolutely. And you have to buy a lot of stuff that you then have to get rid of a different way, which is now why Whatnot has come into play.
Yeah.
And so, but I will say, even when we had clothes and she's like, don't sell that, get rid of it. You're just giving that away. You're not even.
Yeah, no, I'm not. No, I don't put crap inventory on Whatnot. I don't believe
say that. You said this to me last night. Tell them this.
Yeah, the whole time I've been on Whatnot, I do not like the people that are taking their inventory that is trash that they should not have sourced and putting it on Whatnot for other unsuspecting people. I have sourced specifically for Whatnot. The only exception, we pulled some purses and then the license plates. I had 3 years, but we had some of those listed at $70 and $80 and I ran them for $3. So they were still, if somebody else wants to hold on to them until the right person comes along, I ran them at what I paid for them. And for collectors, it was good. So that's the only stuff we've really pulled. Oh, and some ornaments. We pulled some ornaments for the ornament show because I didn't have enough, but they were good ornaments. It wasn't bad ones. And I think that people know if you're bringing them crap and they're not going to come back. And I don't want people to think that that's what I'm doing.
And how many shows a week do you do?
6 right now.
6 shows a week. And how many hours?
Like yesterday I did almost 3. The jewelry shows are about between 2 and 3. But like when we did the salt and pepper shakers, those were 5 to 6. But I'm not going to do that if they're not buying. Like I'm not sitting there hoping somebody's buying. I'm going that long because they are buying.
Okay, but now I just want to talk about Whatnot for 1 second. I know that's not really our topic, but I just want to say this about Whatnot. Whatnot will, the longer you on, it pushes you up. Yeah. So sometimes, So do you ever have like the first hour is really dead and then
It was
picks up?
yesterday. Yeah.
And that's because the longer you're on, I don't know how it works, but the longer you're on, the algorithm likes
You
it more
move
and
up
it
in the
pushes.
search.
Yeah, you move up in search, and so you'll get people funneling in.
Yeah.
And then do you raid somebody at the end of your show?
Yeah, always.
Every time?
Yeah.
And how do you decide that?
I just look like yesterday, like there was somebody with one person and I was worried they were testing. So I didn't raid them. And I went to the next one. She had 4 people and she said, oh my gosh, I've never had 15 people on my show
Oh,
before.
that's nice.
So I try and help the smaller ones. Sometimes if my friends are on, I will raid into my friends. If I see that my friends are live, or like if some of my viewers have told me that they're doing live sales, I'll do that too.
So if you guys could give us a thumbs up, I'd really appreciate it because I never ever ask and always forget. So thumbs up, I would love it. Same time every day? No.
I do either 11:30 or 3:30 typically, Chance. Today's 3:30. Like if I don't, raid means I send all my viewers to somebody else's show. I'm not doing anything with them afterwards, so I might as well send them to somebody.
It's like you pick something and then
it funnels
all of them all over. Yeah.
But yeah, so 11:30 or 3:30 Eastern are the 2 times I do. I've tried some later shows and the later shows for me have not done well. The 11:30 and 3:30 seems to work well for me. So yeah, so I'm typically either 11:30 or 3:30. I think all of them right now are scheduled for 3:30. And because we're doing work in the morning, so I have to take into account what else I've got going on.
She made me go to the gym this morning.
I did make her go to the gym.
And my arms are like Jell-O. So you guys think this is easy. It's not. Feel bad for me. And then she made me walk on the treadmill. I don't know what the hell I'm doing here. I may have to drive back home. Thank you so much, everybody. We really appreciate it. We will do this again in a couple of weeks with a second update. And I'm going to have some videos and stuff also about process and how we're doing it and show you the space. A little bit of behind the scenes stuff. So if you're interested in Kat, you're interested in our process, we'll hopefully have a little bit more to come and, come to light.
See, look, now you got to go to Pilates.
Yeah, Julie. Julie. I want to thank everybody. Please give me a thumbs up. I'd really appreciate it. And everyone have a great weekend and we will see you soon. Thank you so much, everybody. Let me see if I can do this.